Now, of course...
Hang on, I want to get a shot of this entire area.
All right.
Which, by the way, the road is somewhere up there. Yeah, this pavement's new. This wasn't here in '69, and of course the restroom there wasn't here in '69. Although it looks like it hasn't been cleaned since '69, the last time I went in there.
Yes, and it's one of those things. BYOTP. Bring your own toilet paper.
Yeah.
And soap while you're at it. We don't use that one.
Now this is the Jeep trail that at ZodiacKiller.com there are aerial shots of the Lake Berryessa scene, and those aerial shots you can see. I think it's this general area. There was a Jeep trail.
Yes, there was.
So this hasn't really changed much.
No. And in fact, if you were to compare the aerial photo with all these little contours here, you'll find they're still exactly the same today as they were 35 years ago.
There's a footprint right there.
Maybe it was
probably not a wing walker, though.
No. But the Zodiac would have walked down in this direction.
Well, he did. According to the footprints that were recovered at the crime scene, he walked down this direction. Oh, look, somebody is. Yeah.
The very spot where Hartnell and Shepard were stabbed.
That's the exact spot right in there.
That's what it looks like.
Wow.
Of
I
course
hope they're not naked.
Of course, there were 3 trees over there.
Yeah, there were 3.
But now, as you can see, 2 of them are gone. And that one is probably not much longer for this world either. It looks like it's about to collapse.
Yeah, that's the one that Scott Bullock leaned up against and bent.
Oh, yeah.
He bent it, remember when he leaned up against it?
Here's the little bay. Now, the Yellow Book has got it all wrong. Because...
What?
Yes, it has, of course, over at the other island.
Where's that?
That's like about a half mile to the south. You can't see it from here. But the other thing is, the author indicates that...
the Yellow Book?
The Yellow Book indicates that Zodiac walked all the way around the island on the other side, then back up behind.
You can't do that, yeah.
Well, you can, but there's a lot of shale you'll, like, crunch as you walk along.
And you'd get wet or you'd sink, depending on how much of a... You know what I mean? That looks pretty sloppy over there right now.
Yes, but he would have walked directly up this way.
Well, and obviously the footprints that were recovered contradicted that whole theory anyway, because you could trace the path of the footprints and it didn't come close to the Yellow Book, what the Yellow Book said.
Correct.
Boy, the Yellow Book. That's where we came from.
And there's the ridge overlooking Zodiac Island. I've often
And this is an island oftentimes, too, because the water comes all the way up over, and then all the way up over here. Yep.
It's been dry enough...
You know, you're going to freak out those picnickers with that shirt on.
Yes, I will.
That's a fine shirt, though.
Yes, it is. I even have a target on the back.
Man, a shirt like that could easily cost $40, $50. I understand you got a good deal on it at the ZodiacKiller.com website.
Yes, I did. Shameless plug.
No, you got it for free, you punk.
Yeah, well, your tailor is shorting it a little too much.
I hope these people aren't naked.
I got it.
We better go find out.
Yes. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
This is a nice area. I can see why a couple would want to come here.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Boy, there's a bunch of them there. Well, first let's film this.
When we're here for the next task force meeting, we should have a barbecue. Because we've got the grill right here.
So that's where everyone parked.
Yeah, it's...
And they came down this area and walked over here.
Now, Knoxville Road's about 500 yards up that hill.
And that's right about where the victims were, by that bent tree. Don't freak out those nice people.
Well, it's good to know that they're on guard.
Okay. Yeah, most of these people have guns.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've fully exploited this section.
Yes.
And I'm getting kind of hot. It's got to be 100 degrees.
Very easily.
Yeah. Okay, so Ed, what happened out here anyway?
Well, September 27th, 1969, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Ann Shepard were at Pacific Union College.
Wait a minute. What was Brian's middle name? You gave Cecilia's, but not Brian's. I know it. I know it. Do you know it? Come on, Ed.
I should know what it is, too.
It's Calvin.
That's right, it's Calvin. Yes, but he was from Troutdale, Oregon. I do remember that.
Well, everybody knows that.
Yeah, anyway, Brian Calvin Hartnell and Cecilia Ann Shepard, they were at Pacific Union College on September 27th, 1969. And she had come up here for the day to collect her few remaining belongings before transferring down to Riverside to study music. And so they had apparently...
Hey, wasn't Sherry Bates from Riverside?
As a matter of fact, she was. That's where she was murdered 3 years before then.
What was her middle name?
Joe. Sherry Joe Bates. That's J-O, not J-O-E.
Okay, that was going to be a bonus question. I'll give it to you anyway.
All right. Anyway, so they were apparently planning to go to the city that day, San Francisco, but didn't quite work out. So instead, they decided to go to Lake Berryessa, which you can see right down there. At least that's part of it anyway. And so they drove north from Pacific Union College along Howell Mountain Road, made their way along Knoxville Road, and approached from the north. We're actually coming from the opposite direction, from the south. And so they went out to Twin Oak Ridge and ended up going out to the very end of this island. Well, it's an island when it rains and the lake level rises. Right now, however, it is almost certainly just a promontory. It's, of course, now named Zodiac Island because of what happened there. So they were out there.
And by the way, we didn't name it Zodiac Island. That's what the park rangers refer to it as.
Yes, it's been apparently known as Zodiac Island for a long time here. We were quite surprised to find that out in 1999 when I was here with Ken Narlow, who showed us the exact spot.
And Narlow was the original detective on the Hartnell Shepard case, is that correct?
That is correct, Tom.
And he became the captain of the Napa County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, he did.
And his middle name is Herkimer.
Now that I did not know.
No, I made that up.
See, that's why I didn't know it. There's Lake Berryessa below us. So we're still just a few miles from the attack site. So what happened is, the attack site, by the way, is at the Oak Shores Recreational Area. At least that's what it is today. Back then there was nothing there, just an old Jeep trail.
So yeah, it's been developed. I mean, it looks kind of the same, but they've added some blacktop and a restroom. And
yeah, a lot of picnic benches and barbecues. None of that was present in 1969. So they were out there. They had taken a picnic blanket and I guess a lunch or whatever. And Zodiac had been apparently trolling for victims. He pulled in right behind them and walked down some 500 yards down to what is now called Zodiac Island. And there he put on his hood behind one of the trees, which unfortunately no longer exists. Only one of the 3 trees that was on the island is still standing today. So he put on his hood and with his gun was able to gain control over the situation. He had pre-cut lengths of clothesline and he had given them to Cecilia so that she could tie up Brian. She tied him up loosely, just like you see in the movies, so that he could try and escape. Then Zodiac tied up Cecilia and then checked Brian, found he was tied loosely, and tied him up tighter so he couldn't escape. At which point they spoke for several minutes, perhaps as long as 10 to 15, and he didn't volunteer any information. Brian did manage to get out of him, and who knows how truthful any of this was, that Zodiac claimed he was an escaped convict from Deer Lodge, Montana, that he had killed a guard and stolen a car.